Hello, this is Jim. I'm a writer, educator, and podcaster. Thanks so much for watching. In this video, I would like to give a short, simple lesson about double consonants and how we can connect, as difficult as it might seem at times, spelling in English with pronunciation. Spelling is notoriously bad in English. It's not very phonetic like Spanish is, meaning you write the words as you hear them. And there are pros and cons to this and reasons for this. I'm not going to go into that in this video, maybe in another video. Reasons that explain why spelling is so bad in English. Part of it has to do with we're a very imperial language in the sense that we take a lot from other cultures and languages, and we see that in the spelling, which can be good if you're interested in etymology or the history of words. The other reason is something called the Great Vowel Shift, where basically pronunciation changed and spelling didn't in English a long time ago. Spelling is important. We have to spell. Yes, there's spell check and all of these things, but these simple rules have helped me, and I hope that they will help you. English can be very tricky, so having any kind of tools, I think, is just a great thing. Doubling consonants. Let's jump right into it. Doubling consonants forms a connection between spelling and pronunciation, which means that despite the fact that English is notoriously difficult in terms of spelling or orthography, there are some rules that you can learn, and in this case, doubling consonants should make a lot of sense when you think about pronunciation. Double consonants signal a short vowel sound. We have to talk about what that is so that you can better understand. So, a short vowel sound is quick, unaltered. I'll show you some examples. Long vowels usually contain another vowel joined in one syllable. This is called a diphthong. If you don't know what that might sound like, think about how you typically pronounce the letters of the vowels in English. A, E, I, O, U. These are all examples of these long vowel sounds. And all of them, except for E, are diphthongs because they contain two vowels in one syllable. I will break that down further for you. So a short A sound can be found in the word about or in the word at, and those are slightly different. So in the word about, the A isolated there sounds like a schwa or a. You hear this sound in the word the, and it's a sound you hear a lot in English. That's what we typically do to vowels in words. We replace them with a schwa. It's just it speeds up pronunciation, but it also makes it really difficult for non-native speakers, especially non-native speakers from very phonetic languages like Spanish. In the word at, the A sound sort of sounds like ah, ah. This is also a short vowel sound. The long A, like the name of the letter, can be found in the word celebrate. So it sounds like A, and if you break that down further, you can hear the two vowels. E, 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 A, A. Next, the letter E. In the word bet, this is a short E sound. It sounds like this, E, E. It's a very common sound in Romance languages. The long E, just like the letter, can be found in the word be, and it sounds like E. This is not a diphthong, but it is considered a long vowel sound. The short I can be found in the word bit. Bit. Isolated, it sounds like this, I, I. Long I can be found in the word bite, just like in the letter of the vowel. And if you break it down further, it sounds like this. I. A short O sound can be found in the word top. It sort of sounds like this. Ah. A long O sound can be found in the word promote. It sounds like the name of the vowel, O. If you break it down further, notice the two vowels, O, O, O. A short U sound can be found in the word tub. The U here sounds like a schwa. Very common sound in the English language. A long U sound can be found in the word tube. Tube. Okay, just notice the difference there. Typically, how long you would say those two different versions of the same vowel. Double the consonants in one syllable verb stems containing a short vowel sound between two consonants. This formation I will refer to as CVC, consonant vowel consonant, where the vowel is a short vowel sound. An example of that would be in the word slip or in the word hop. Okay, notice the I in slip sounds like I, like the I in it, and the O in hop sounds like the O in top. These are short vowel sounds. And because they're between two consonants and there's one syllable here, in this case, in these words, we double the consonants when we add suffixes to these verbs. So ing in this case, or ed in this case. So two P's when we're adding ing or ed for either one of these verbs. Now, the reason we do this is because we maintain the short vowel sound. This is a way of signaling the pronunciation of this word or of these words. An easy example to illustrate is comparing hop with the verb hope. Now, notice the spellings are very similar. Hope has an E at the end, which is very common in words to indicate a long vowel sound, especially following a vowel consonant grouping. If they both took an ing, they would be indistinguishable from each other. So if you didn't double the consonant, then there would be no difference between hopping and hoping. Right? This would be unnecessarily confusing, and so the doubling of the consonants helps to signal the pronunciation to preserve that short vowel sound, and is therefore helpful. So if you think about it that way, I think it's really helpful. Notice, again, difference between hopped and hoped. Right? Notice also the difference between write and writing, right? So the ing, we didn't double the T. Why? Because the I in write is a long vowel sound. Versus written, right? These are different forms of the verb, but because they're pronounced differently, we treat them differently. In this case, that I in written is a short vowel sound, hence we have two T's. The second rule here is to double the consonant when the verb stem contains two or more syllables with the CVC formation in the final stressed syllable. So we're focusing on the stressed syllable. If you don't know about stress, I'll briefly talk about it. In English, stress is an important concept. Let's look at an example with the verb refer. Now, we pronounce this refer. Refer. Can you tell where the stress is? You should notice it's on the second syllable. Refer. It is not pronounced refer. Refer. I believe that's something else. So notice that we have consonant, vowel, consonant, and this is a two-syllable verb, and the stress goes on the last or the second syllable. What that means is we double the consonant when we add a suffix like ing or ed. So referring and referred. We do not double the consonant if we add an s, for example, as in refers, right? Third person singular verb conjugation. Why? Because we are not adding another syllable. Okay, let's also look at the verb control. control, control. It is not pronounced control, control. The stress is on the second syllable. We have consonant, verb, consonant on the stressed syllable. So we double the consonant, controlling, controlled. I can tell you, before I learned these rules, I found this sort of stuff really confusing. Why double consonants in one verb and not the other? It just seemed arbitrary, but learning this really helped me out. So that's kind of why I'm covering this in the first place. Compare traveling and traveled. These are different. We are not doubling the consonant. Why? Because the stress is on the first syllable. Travel. I should mention the stress is on the first syllable. Always focus on the base form of the verb, which is like the dictionary form. So in this case, travel, right? The stress is on the first syllable, travel. It's not pronounced travel, okay? This is different from British spelling, where they double the consonant in this case, but we're American. I guess in this case, we make more sense. You also want to double the consonant when the suffix er and est, known as the comparative and the superlative, respectively, is added to one-syllable adjectives ending in CVC. So this doesn't just work for verbs, it also works for adjectives. Let's look at this CVC formation here, right? Big, hot, both containing short vowel sounds. And we're adding ER and EST, these suffixes that are really important. And notice we double the consonants. Okay, so it all should make sense. This is kind of a long way of phrasing it here, but it should make sense when you look at words like this, right? When you look at words like this and you see the CVC and you're adding endings, typically you would double the consonant. Another example is when you have a word ending in an L, specifically when you have an adjective ending in an L, and you want to add ly, right, to change the adjective, which describes a noun or a pronoun, into an adverb, which can describe another adverb, an adjective, or verb. So let's look at some examples. Careful and successful. In this case, we're not really counting the syllables. We're just looking at how it ends, right? It's an adjective. It ends in an L. We want to add ly because we want to create a adverbial form. And so we are doubling the consonant. We're adding ly. So it's carefully with two L's and successfully with two L's. Notice that the word general also works, generally. I added this example just because it's not just for adjectives that end in ful, okay? It's really about adjectives that end in l. Also, I included this example, full and fully, because with fully, we don't add another L because it already ends in two L's. So we're not going to triple consonants, okay? I can't think of any words off the top of my head that contain triple sets of the same consonant, but I'm sure there might be some examples. English has a ton of words. So just remember, it ends in an L, it's an adjective, you're changing it to an adverb by adding ly. Typically, you would just add the ly even though there's already an L at the end of that adjective. And that's about it. Pretty short and sweet. If you have questions, let me know. Write them down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them if I can. And before I go, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that tips like these can be found in this awesome book, Keys for Writers, by Anne Rames. It was a book introduced to me in college as an undergrad that I've used throughout college that I find really helpful. And I got this lesson from there and just put my own small spin on it and presented that information to you. Buy that book for sure if you're in college. It's pretty cheap. I can link to it on Amazon. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment. All of that helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week. This is Jim signing off. Peace.